Learn salsa dancing for beginners in 30 days. No border needed. Today we'll practice the full and half swap with the CBL, the crossbody lead, and the back CBL. 80% of the salsa patterns we see on the dance floor use combinations of these three steps: the swap, the CBL, and the back CBL. We will start with the half swap, anchoring in place, and the back CBL.
Are you ready? Yeah, day 10. Turn to your left and let's start. One basic. And then half swap and back CBL. Let's go. 5, 6, anchor, half swap. Back, cross to the front, open. In place, on the line, anchor, now back CBL. Back, side, open. In place, on the line, and forward, basic. Let's go again, half swap and back CBL, let's go. 5, 6, anchor, half swap. Back, cross to the front, open. In place, on the line, anchor, now back CBL. Back, side, open. In place, on the line, and forward, basic. Then half swap and back CBL, doing great. 5, 6, anchor, half swap. Back, cross to the front, open. In place, on the line, anchor, now back CBL. Back, side, open. In place, on the line, and full speed, one basic. And then half swap and back CBL, let's go. Anchor, back, open and back CBL, anchor, back, open and basic, and then half swap and back CBL. 5, 6, anchor, back, open and back CBL, anchor, back, open and basic, half swap and back CBL. 5, 6, anchor, back, open and back CBL, anchor, back, open and basic. And let's go slow again. And now half swap and a full swap. Let's go. 5, 6, anchor, half swap. Back, cross to the front, open. In place, on the line, anchor, now full swap. Back, cross to the front, open, now cross to the back. On the line and forward, basic. Let's do it again. Half swap and a full swap. 5, 6, anchor, half swap. Back, cross to the front, open. In place, on the line, anchor, now full swap. Back, cross to the front, open. Cross to the back, on the line, forward, basic. And again, half swap and swap. Don't forget to smile. 5, 6, anchor, half swap. Back, cross to the front, open. In place, on the line, and anchor, now full swap. Back, cross to the front, open. Cross to the back, on the line, and full speed, one basic. Half swap and a swap, let's go. 5, 6, anchor. Back, open, and a full swap. Anchor, back, open, and basic. Half swap and a swap, let's go. 5, 6, anchor. Back, open, and a full swap. Anchor, back, open, and basic. Half a swap and a swap. 5, 6, anchor. Back, open, a full swap. Anchor, back, open. And now let's do the full swap. Anchor in 7 and then the back CBL. Back, side, open, and back on the line. One basic, slow. And then swap and back CBL. Are you ready? Let's go. 5, 6, anchor, full swap. Back, cross to the front, open. Cross to the back, in place, anchor. Now back CBL. Back, side, open. In place, on the line, and forward, basic. And then swap and back CBL. Let's go. 5, 6, anchor, swap. Back, cross to the front, open. Cross to the back, on the line, anchor. Now back CBL, back, side, open. In place, on the line, and forward, basic. Yes, swap and back CBL, but now with your partner. 5, 6, anchor, swap. Back, cross to the front, open, show it the way. Cross to the back, on the line, anchor. Now back CBL, back, side, open. In place, on the line, and full speed, one basic. And swap and back CBL, 5, 6, anchor, back, open and back CBL, anchor, back, open and basic, and swap and back CBL, let's go, 5, 6, anchor, back, open and back CBL, anchor, back, open and basic, and swap and back CBL, 5, 6, anchor, back, open and back CBL, anchor, back, open and on the line. Now turn to your right, basic slow, and now the back CBL and then the swap. Let's go. 5, 6, anchor, back CBL, back, side, open. In place, on the line, anchor. Now the swap. Back, cross to the front, open. Cross to the back, on the line, forward, basic, and again, back CBL and the swap. Let's go. 5, 6, anchor, back CBL, back, side, open. In place, on the line, anchor, now the swap. Back, cross to the front, open, cross to the back, on the line, and forward, basic. Let's do it again, back CBL and a swap. Doing great, let's go. 5, 6, anchor, back CBL, back, side, open, in place, on the line, anchor. Now the swap. Back, cross to the front, open, cross to the back, on the line, and full speed, one basic. Yeah. Back CBL and a swap. 5, 6, anchor, back, open and swap. Anchor, back, open and basic. Back CBL and swap. Go. 5, 6, anchor, back, open and now swap. Anchor, back, open and basic. Back CBL and a swap. 5, 6, anchor, back, open and swap. Anchor, back, open, cross to the back, on the line. And now slow again, one basic. And now let's do a longer sequence. CBL, swap and back CBL. Are you ready? Let's go. CBL, front, side, open, in place, on the line, anchor. Now swap. Back, cross to the front, open, cross to the back, on the line, anchor. Now the back CBL. Back, side, open. In place, on the line, and forward. CBL again. Front, side, open. In place, on the line, anchor. Now swap. Back, cross to the front, open. Cross to the back, on the line, anchor. Now back CBL. Back, side, open. In place, on the line, forward, full speed, one basic. 1, 2, 3, let's go. Cross body lead. Front, open and swap. Anchor, back, open and back CBL. Anchor, back, open and CBL again. Go. Front, open and swap. Anchor, back, open and back CBL. Anchor, back, open and on the line. Turn to your left and let's do one basic slow. And another sequence, CBL, back CBL, and then the swap. Let's go! CBL. Front, side, open. In place on the line, anchor. Now the back CBL. Back, side, open. In place on the line, anchor. Now the swap. Back, cross to the front, open. Cross to the back, on the line, forward, CBL again. Front, side, open, doing great. In place on the line, anchor. Now back CBL, back, side, open. In place on the line, anchor. Now the swap. Back, cross to the front, open. Cross to the back on the line and full speed, one basic. And the same sequence, starting with a CBL. Go! Front, open and the back CBL. Anchor, back, open and the swap. Anchor, back, open and the CBL again. Front, open and back CBL. Anchor, back, open and swap. Anchor, back, open and back on the line. And thank you very much for joining me. And don't miss the master tip at the end. Ready for day 11? Click here or check the description. And if you're not sure yet, remember that repetition is the mother of skill. So feel free to repeat day 10 again. The more you practice, the better you get. And if you found this video helpful, please scroll down and type the words "more practice" in the comments below. And if you're wondering why I put my heart and soul into these tutorials for you, for free, always for free, let me tell you my story. And today's master tip: practice this video again, and instead of anchoring in place, anchor to the back.